What's up guys, my name is Ace and welcome to another Q&A. So how this one works, or how these Q&As work, is pretty simple. You guys leave questions in the comment section of this video and this video only, and I will answer it in future Q&As, possibly. I don't get to every single question. A lot of questions get asked several times, so I might get the same, or a lot of times I get the same questions that I've already answered in previous Q&As. So I'll also leave a link to all the previous Q&As that I've done in the description below. I have a playlist all set up for those. So if you'd like to know more about me and my thoughts on things, then feel free to go check that out. And realize that if your question doesn't get answered by me, there's a good chance that I've already answered it in a previous Q&A. So leave your questions in the comment section below. It can be about anything. It can be about my personal life, my opinion on something. It could be asking for tips on YouTube. I get those a lot too. Anything really specific definitely helps, especially when you're looking for tips on YouTube, things like that, because a lot of people are just like, hey, I need tips, and there's a million tips I can give you, and I don't have time to do that all in one video. So that's pretty much where we're at with that, so let's get right into the Q&A. So the first question comes from Tom Hartman, and it is, how do you feel about Advanced Warfare being in the future, not like Black Ops 2, but actually in the further future? And would you have preferred a World War II Call of Duty, and how do you think a World War II Call of Duty would work if it were made after Advanced Warfare? So these questions were all actually before Advanced Warfare launched, just so you guys know. About Advanced Warfare being in the further future than we're used to, I think it was a nice change of pace, especially with the exosuit. I think it's a nice break away from the standard Call of Duty, but I don't want to see Call of Duty go in this direction with the exosuits every single Call of Duty from now on. I think it's a nice change of pace to give us a break, but I hope they go back to more of the standard feel. I still would like to see like a Black Ops 3, like near future, not too crazy in the future with like aliens and all that kind of stuff. I don't want it to be like Halo or anything, but I want to have like modern guns and everything like that. As for the World War II Call of Duty, there's been a lot of rumors and speculation. People basically saying that they think it's going to be a World War II, World at War II is going to be the next Call of Duty. I don't think this is going to be the case. I think it is going to be a Black Ops 3. What would I think if it were a World War II? I don't think it would work out very well for them. I know there's a lot of like really hardcore fans that want a World War II, but these are not really the majority of people. They're a very vocal minority, and I don't think it would go over very well as far as sales and everything goes, because it would be taking a step backwards for Call of Duty. And I feel like they've already gone too far, and they're now in the future, and they have to stay either within the present or the near future. They can't really go back in time unless they were to do some sort of a flashback thing. So they could have maybe the campaign as a near future Call of Duty, but then they do flashbacks. Maybe you do some missions where you're in World War II, and it's kind of a flashback thing. So you still get that feel, you still get to use the old guns and things like that, but the game overall is still near future. I think that's the only way that it could really work out, but I could be wrong on that one. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The next question comes from Griller Miller, and it is, hi Ace, do you have any real-life friends who are passionate about gaming? And no, I don't really have any friends that are super passionate about gaming in real life. Most of my real-life friends, they do game, but it's more of like really casually, just something to pass the time. None of them are really really into it. They maybe get into it a little bit when a game first launches, so like the first 2 weeks of Advanced Warfare they were playing it, but then after that, really, I don't think they ever really play it anymore. Or like Grand Theft Auto, they play that for a bit, but they're not really passionate. They don't go on like forums, they don't go on YouTube and watch gaming videos. They're not like that at all. It's just really casual gamers. So no, I don't think I really have any in real life friends that are super passionate about gaming. It's pretty much just me. Next one comes from Delvage, and it is, you said you played hockey as a kid, which I did. I played for about 12 years or so. I was actually a goalie. Have you ever have a favorite team in the NHL? And his is San Jose. Mine is the Edmonton Oilers, simply because I grew up, was born and raised in the Edmonton area. Not really in the city, but just outside the city, and always been an Oilers fan my whole life. I know they're not doing so well lately, but hey, everybody has their ups and downs. So yeah, I'd say I'm an Oilers fan. Moving on to the next one. Hey Ace, do you live alone or do you live with your family or a roommate? What are your reasons for living with whom you live with? I still live at home. We live on a ranch that's outside of the city of Edmonton in Alberta, Canada. And essentially, I live here with my parents, partially because, well, it's cheap. Also, I like to kind of help around. There's a lot of work to do around here. It's not like growing up in the city where as soon as you turn 18, you get out of there. Essentially, there's lots to be done around here, and part of it is also because it is cheap. But this year, I'm actually really looking seriously at getting a house. My plan is to buy a house with a separate rental unit. So I will own the house, and then I will rent out to some people. And I'm really hoping that'll work out this year, because then I will also have high-speed internet, because that will be in the city, or at least it'll be within proximity of cable internet, which would be nice, or even maybe fiber. I don't know yet, but that's my plans for now. So I'm hoping to move out this year, but we'll just kind of see how everything goes with the market and everything like that. So I guess we'll wait and see. Next question comes from Threshkill. How cool was it to meet Drifter? Can you elaborate on it? So Drifter and I, we met at Gamescom. Well, not actually at Gamescom, but in Cologne, Germany, where Gamescom was. That was in August of last year. I'll throw a picture on the screen. I think I have a picture laying around of that. And basically, I met at his fan meetup with him. I talked to him a little bit beforehand. Met him at a fan meetup he did right in front of the big church in Cologne. I can't remember what it's called, sorry. But yeah, it was really cool meeting him. He's a really nice guy. He's a really genuine guy. What you see in his videos is what you get with him. That's what he's like in real life. And after the fan meetup, him and I went out for dinner and just basically chatted. It was a good time. We got a lot of the same interests. We're both interested in video games, obviously, guns a little bit, and yeah, we just sort of discussed things. I don't want to get too detailed on it, but yeah, he's a really good guy, and I really enjoyed meeting him, and hope to see him again in the future. Hopefully I'll be able to get to some gaming conventions or something like that, and meet up with him again, and then maybe meet up with some other YouTubers. Hoping for maybe PAX Prime this year, but I don't know. We'll see. Moving on to the next one. This one's from John Colin. How long did it take you to get a channel where a lot of people watched it, and how did you do it? Essentially, I started out with no expectations. That's a big thing. I started out because I felt like it was something that would be fun for me to do, and maybe it would go somewhere someday. I was never going into it expecting I was going to have 60,000 subscribers or more one day. It was never really even something that I was focused on. It was always in the back of my mind that it could happen. But essentially, how do you do it? Make content that provides value to the audience. That's the number one thing that I see people not doing when they start YouTube. They do it and they just try to basically copy the big guys. And they seem to think that just by doing a video that one of the big YouTubers did, that suddenly they're going to be one of those big YouTubers because they did it just as well or even better than them. In a lot of cases, they are better than the big guys, but they don't already have the audience, and that's something they don't realize. And to get that audience, you have to make content that provides value to the audience. So if you do tip videos like me, or like how to get better at something, make sure every video you do is basically sharing how to get better at something. Or if you do entertainment style videos, make sure you're entertaining in every one of your videos. If you're a comedy channel, make sure you make somebody laugh every single video. If you don't do that, then you're not really fulfilling your purpose to the audience, and they will end up leaving you. I've been trying to branch out a little bit. I know I'm not doing tip videos every single time, but that's kind of one of my strategies a little bit, is I kind of want to branch out a little bit. I don't want to be just a tip guy. I want to be a guy that's also hopefully entertaining to watch live commentaries from, and also provides great tips and things like that. So basically, that's the number one thing I think you should focus on. First, have fun with it and just do it for you. Don't focus too much on the audience. Do it because you want to do it. And second, make sure you provide that value to your audience. The next one's from Super Game Worlds, and it is, do you ever feel bored of playing Call of Duty or get destroyed so bad that you rage quit in the past? What are the best ways to prevent rage quitting and stay calm? Essentially, I don't rage quit. I would never call it a rage quit. The only times I leave games are, one, if I've got something going on and I have to actually leave, like I've got to go somewhere, I will maybe leave a game. Two, if the connection is so bad that it's not even worth my time to stay in, I will leave. Not in the fact that, like, oh, I get one death that maybe was connection related, I'm going to leave the game. It's not like that. It's essentially like, none of my bullets are working. I've tried to stick through it for 2 or 3 minutes, and it's still, nothing's working out for me as far as a connection goes. I know I'm on target, but my bullets just aren't working. Then I will leave a game, because there's no point in staying in a game there. And then finally, the last reason that I would leave a game, and I do this every now and then in Advanced Warfare because I am a solo player mainly, if all of my teammates leave and nobody rejoins. I'm not going to stick around in a 1 versus 6 situation for an entire game when nobody else is joining me, so I'm just going to leave the game at that point. Those are really the only 3 reasons that I can think of for leaving a game, and I feel like a lot of people leave games way too early, and they're missing out on a lot of lessons that they could be learning. When you're doing bad, these are the times where you learn lessons. These are the times where you really work to improve. You find out different things about yourself and how you react to different situations. And this is, I feel, the best time to improve. It's not the time when you're getting that vicious medal. This isn't the time to learn about how to improve, or not nearly as much. It's more when things aren't going your way. That's when you really learn how to improve. So that's why I always try to stick through games. Next one comes from Dwight Schrute, although I highly doubt it's actually Dwight Schrute, but I'm not gonna doubt you too much here. What is your favorite show? Tempted to say The Office right now, but no. Actually, I really do enjoy The Office. I don't know if I really have a favorite. I enjoy watching some TV shows, but I don't know if I could really pick a favorite. I guess if I had to say, I would say How I Met Your Mother. But I also really enjoy like Game of Thrones, Suits. I was just recently been getting into. I like Suits. It's a good show. I did like The Office as well. I just don't watch it anymore. I don't know. There's a bunch of other ones that I watch, but I would say How I Met Your Mother is probably my favorite. The next one, I get this asked quite a bit, so I thought I would just answer it again. Would it be possible for you to play with viewers? I do play with viewers. Well, essentially I play with Twitter followers whenever I possibly can, which right now isn't as often as I'd like, simply because my whole setup's now at my office. And with it being there, when I'm at my office, I'm usually there to work. I don't have time to just sit down and play very often. I'm there recording and working. But I also do team challenges, or I'd like to do more team challenges in the future. So if you ever do want to play with me, you really do want to play with me, then make sure you follow me on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, then feel free to make one. It's free. It's up to you, though. I will leave a link to my Twitter in the description below. Actually, it's in the description of every one of my videos. So make sure you follow me on Twitter if you ever do want to play with me. Keep in mind, I don't play with Twitter followers like every day. I'm not even at the office every day, so don't expect to play with me like right away if you follow me on Twitter, but that's one way to play with me. Also, live streams. I started doing live streams about a month ago now, I think, or a little bit more than a month ago now. And I really like playing with viewers during live streams. I think that's a lot of fun. You guys have probably seen it. I will post a quick video if I live stream. I actually post like a 15-second video on YouTube just saying, hey, I'm live streaming, come hang out. And I almost always play with people that are watching the stream. So if you ever want to play with me then feel free. Keep in mind, I really only play on Xbox One. I don't have Advanced Warfare for any other games. But I might, for my Throwback Thursday episodes where I play older Call of Duties, I think I'm going to get Twitter followers to come play with me as well. So even if you're on Xbox 360 and play the older Call of Duties or have the older Call of Duties, there is a chance that you can play with me as well. The next one is from I the Me. Kind of an interesting name. What is your favorite controller? My favorite controller is actually the Xbox 360 controller. I just find that one fits my hand the best. The Xbox One controller, I don't know, it feels like, okay, if you look at my hand like that, it feels like I'm really squeezing with my palm on the Xbox One controller. I don't have an Xbox One. Oh, hang on. Look at that. I do have an Xbox One controller. I feel like just the way my palm sits on here, I'm just squeezing it really weird, and it kind of strains my palm a little bit. I don't like the feeling there, whereas the Xbox 360 controller really fills out my palm, and my palm like wraps around it, and it's just the most comfortable controller for me. Moving on to the next question. This one comes from Thomas. If YouTube really worked out for you and it became a full-time job, would you consider doing Let's Plays or even a second channel for Let's Plays? Now, it isn't a full-time job for me yet, but I do have a second channel that I basically just started off on, and I haven't been too active lately, but now I will be because I have this brand new gaming PC at home now, so I can record stuff for my second channel at home when I'm not at the office, essentially. So I will leave a link to that in the description below. It's exclusive games, and right now it's all just Minecraft, but I'm going to be doing a Last of Us Let's Play very, very soon. I'm going to be starting that one, because I do have my PS4 here at home as well, so I'll be doing a Last of Us Let's Play, and I'm definitely open to suggestions for other games. I'm thinking maybe I'll do like The Forest or some H1Z1 or H1Z1, depending on where you're from in the world. It's H1Z1 for me, because I'm Canadian, But yeah, I do have that second channel, so if you are interested in seeing more from me that's not Call of Duty, then make sure you go and subscribe to that second channel. This next question is something, again, I get asked a lot, and I'm never really going to give a direct answer to this. This one's from Dan Ward, and it is, how much money do you make from YouTube? The answer that I always give, and this still stands true today, even with all the growth that I have had, is I don't make a lot. Essentially, for the amount of time that I put into YouTube, which is a ton of time, this is almost an addiction. I put a ton of time in. I'm making below minimum wage for the amount of time that I put into YouTube. So just put that into perspective for you guys that think that you can make it big on YouTube instantly and be rich from it. It's not as easy as it looks. Okay, so I'm not getting rich off YouTube by any means. I just make a little bit of money on the side from it. Okay, this next one is a little bit of a longer question. So, hey Ace, I've always enjoyed CoD and YouTube, and my friends constantly tell me I would be a great YouTuber considering I'm a very solid player and have a good voice. Do you think it would be worth my time to try YouTube when people say CoD channels are dying? If so, how would you recommend I start out? Okay, so I would only really recommend starting YouTube if it's something that you feel you will enjoy personally. Do it for you. Don't do it for other people. Don't do it to try and be famous or rich or anything like that. Like I just said, you're not going to get rich off this very quickly anyways. It takes a lot of work and a lot of luck as well to get to that point. If it's something that you truly want to do, it's a great way to develop certain skills, video editing, being entertaining, being a little bit more outgoing, speaking properly, even though I struggle with that all the time, still, after all these years of YouTube. It definitely helps you develop a lot of skills. I was going to list some more, but it doesn't really matter there. So if it's something that you honestly want to do for you, then I highly recommend it. About the whole COD channels are dying thing, I have seen a little bit of a decline in Call of Duty, people posting Call of Duty, and also views in Call of Duty. I don't think this is necessarily the death of Call of Duty on YouTube. I think it's basically weeding out the people that are not really in it because they really, really enjoy Call of Duty. They're in it because they're trying to get the most views wherever those views are. So I think this will just weed those people out, and the people that are true hardcore Call of Duty fans like myself, and there's lots of other guys out there, they're going to stick around with it, we are going to stick around with it, and I feel like we are going to end up being the new guys on top anyways. I'm hoping that that's the way it's going to go. I feel like a lot of people that are moving away from Call of Duty, that's just their own thing, they're doing it for their own reasons, and that's fine. I know a lot of people are just burnt out with Call of Duty. But there's still a massive audience for Call of Duty. There's still a lot of people out there that are playing Call of Duty, and there's new players all the time. And a lot of people are still coming to YouTube to look for Call of Duty tips and just Call of Duty content in general. So I wouldn't say they're dying, but it definitely isn't easy to get into the scene these days. It is definitely an oversaturated market, and I don't know, it is a little bit difficult to get into. But if it's something you want to do, then go for it. Next question is just a quick one. How old are you? I'm 24 years old, turned 25 in July this year, so that should be fun. Feel like I'm getting really old. What mic do you use is the next one. I use a Blue Yeti. I can just show you real quick. Sorry if you get like any big noises because it's currently recording my voice, but that's the Blue Yeti. Moving on to the next question. This one's from K Den. Have you ever been to Denmark? I cannot remember, but you have said it before. Sorry for bad English. No worries on the bad English. Not everybody speaks fluent, and obviously it's not your first language, so actually not bad in that situation. There's just one little mistake there. Yes, I have been to Denmark very, very briefly. I essentially hitchhiked through Denmark. I was in Finland. I took a ship over to Sweden, and from Sweden I hitchhiked down through Denmark. Almost made it to Copenhagen, but when I was... we actually went the wrong way. I was with a buddy of mine, and we thought we were going the direction of Copenhagen, but it turns out we went away from there, and at that point we had just given up and we're like, let's just keep moving. We want to get back down into Germany, and we were on our way to Holland at that point. So we just wanted to get through there. So I would like to go back to Denmark because I didn't really get to see much. I basically saw the side of a highway the whole time, and the little bits we saw in some small towns. I think we caught a train as well in Denmark. But yeah, I would definitely like to see more of Denmark. All right, this next question it was actually from a long time ago, so these were all taken from before Advanced Warfare even launched, and this is: how often would you stream if you had a good connection, and would you set a schedule? So I do actually stream now, since this question was asked. I do stream now. I will leave a link to my Twitch channel below if you want to go follow that, but I also try to post a video every time I stream here, and I also tweet out every time I stream, so there's different ways that you can get a hold of me, or I guess I can get a hold of you when I'm streaming, and you can come watch the stream. I don't have a set schedule though. I can only stream when I'm at the office, and my schedule is kind of all over the place. I can't really stream in the evenings, which is a little bit unfortunate just because my office is essentially a room that I'm renting off somebody, and when they're home, it can be a little bit loud around the place, and because of that, it just doesn't work so well for streaming. So I can typically only stream like in the afternoons, North American time. So it works great for a lot of the Europeans, but not so much for the North Americans. Hopefully this will change in the future. Like I said, if I end up buying a house this summer, then I will definitely be streaming, and I will definitely try and set a schedule as well. But as it is now, no set schedule, but I do live stream at least. And then the second question from him is, what is your favorite gun in Black Ops 2? Definitely, I was going to say definitely the FAL, but I also really like the 5.7. Even though it's a secondary, I really enjoy using the 5.7, and just because I have a great trigger finger. And with the 5.7, I can typically do just as well as I would do with any primary weapon, which I really enjoy. So I would say either the 5.7 or the FAL, just because I like my trigger finger. Alright, and the final question for this Q&A is, you're obviously a very good COD player, but do you ever lobby shop? And the answer to that is no, but. So essentially, I don't leave games just because I'm up against good players. I don't leave mid-game because I run into a clan or something like that. I play it through, I play to the end. I will leave after games if I want to find an easier lobby. So some people might call that lobby shopping. I don't know. I stick it through every game. I stick through to the end, and I might decide that there's no way I'm going to get any sort of a gameplay against these guys. I've got to get a gameplay, so I'm going to leave this lobby and see if I can find one that's a little bit easier. But I'm not one of those guys that joins a game, dies twice, and goes, oh no, this is too hard, rage quit, find a new lobby. I don't do that at all. So I hope that answers your question well enough. So that's going to wrap it up for this Q&A. Like I said at the beginning, if you have any questions for me, leave it in the comment section of this video, and I will try to answer it in the next Q&A. I always say this, I hope to do more Q&As, like do them more often, but I always kind of lose track of them, and I just forget about Q&As, so it always takes you guys reminding me, do another Q&A, do another Q&A. So I would like to do one a month, but I've said that several times, and I have a hard time sticking to it just because I'm so focused on Call of Duty videos that I kind of forget. So leave those questions in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you guys next time.